The quest for increased female participation and representation in governance process remains a critical concern in Ghana, as most women shy of leadership positions, especially at the local level. However, to address this canker, the National Association of Local Authorities of Ghana, Nalag, has organized a sensitization workshop to empower some women in the Greater Accra region who have already shown interest in contesting this year's District Assemblies elections. The 3 days workshop, which took place at the Mensvik Hotel, afforded participants the opportunity to acquire requisite knowledge about the country's local governance system and structures. Mr. Kukuru Amankwa is the General Secretary for Nalag. He speaks more about this leadership workshop for women.
Always women have been a target of intimidation, when it comes to elections. Not that they cannot do it, but it's because there are certain perceptions that they have. That it looks like the arena that they are going into is a men's field, and that they cannot compete favorably with them. But I think we have to change that narrative, because we need women at the local level, we need at the assemblies, because a lot of things that are done of the assemblies, decisions, services that are provided, at the local level concerns women more. For instance, if we are talking about sanitation, if we are talking about water, if we are talking about primary health care and all that, you realize that, and even basic education, women are very, very, very engaged in these areas. But when it comes to taking decisions, realize that the women are not on the table. And the point is that if you are not there, who decides for you? And it will be erroneous for us to think that we can think for women, because they have their own way of looking at things. They have their own way of how things should be done. And since these services concern them, then they must be. And that is the appropriate forum that they can be there to represent other women, talking for other women, because of the experiences that they go through, with these services that come, to them.
He also revealed some worrying figures as far as women representation in local governance is concerned.
When you look at data, it's very worrying, because, for instance, in 2006, we have 10.1% of women who were directly elected by the people. So the expectation is that by 2019, we should have moved upwards. Unfortunately, in 2019, women who were directly elected by people to the assembly were just 3.8. And you look at from 10.1 in 2006 to 3.8 in 2019. So it means that the women are highly marginalized. And if nothing is done about it, a time will come that we may not even get 1% elected, judging from the data. And so Nalag took a decision that let us help these women. Because it's the direct elections, the only thing you can do is to sensitize the community and also give them the capacity, to be able to compete, with their other counterparts.
He further described the move as a deliberate action to ensure that more women are elected in the upcoming District Assemblies elections in order to have a balanced representation at the local level.
This move is not to say that we've been discriminated against the men, but the point is that the women are getting extincted from the assembly, and which is worrying. And so it's a deliberate action, to also bring women, to some level, so that we can have a balanced representation at the local level.
Some participants also shared their views and expectations.
Expectation for this program to achieve something better, so that if I go to my grounds, I'll know what it takes in district assembly.
It will go a long way for me to go to the ground and then campaign for my winning for the second time.
The workshop, which took place in all 16 regions across the country, was carefully structured to introduce participants to the local government system, its architecture, and leadership role.